Apple, Microsoft, and Yahoo offer mixed bags of quarterly earnings. Online marketplace JetCom launches to the public. Twitter hates your wallpaper, and more. It's Tuesday, July 21st, and this is Crunch Report. It's an earnings day extravaganza. Let's get right into it. Apple just released its fiscal Q3 2015 earnings with $49.6 billion in revenue and $10.7 billion in net profit at $1.85 per share. Compared to the year-ago quarter, revenue is up 32.5%, but Apple still missed the street expectations, which were quite high after Apple's last two quarters. You might recall that the company reported the largest corporate quarterly earnings of all time on Q1 2015, the first quarter that factored in last year's iPhone 6 and 6 Plus sales. While Apple doesn't specifically break out Apple Watch or iPod sales, at least for this quarter, it did report selling 47 million iPhones, 10.9 million iPads, and 4.7 million Macs. We'll get to more of today's earnings, including Microsoft and Yahoo, in just a few. But first, hey you guys, Apple's making a car. Oh my God, an Apple car. Maybe. Perhaps? We're not sure. Here's the story. Apple has reportedly hired Doug Betts, who's coming from a role as Senior Vice President of Global Quality for Fiat Chrysler Automobiles. Now, Betts also previously worked at both Nissan and Toyota. He's a car guy. His expertise also seems to be managing teams related to auto production development and customer satisfaction. At least that's what we got from his LinkedIn profile before he took it down. He also happened to update his LinkedIn profile to list his current position as operations at Apple. Again, pre-takedown. That's in the San Francisco area, so there is that. Now, there isn't the first time that we've heard rumors of Apple working on some sort of vehicle project. And it's true that the company has hired numerous employees away from Tesla and other car industry areas. But being in an operations role at Apple could simply mean overseeing supply chain on existing products. Then again, Apple executives like Jeff Williams have referred to the car as the ultimate mobile device. We'll leave that in the rumor mill for now. Online marketplace JetCom launched today and works a little differently than competitors like Amazon or eBay because it lets customers filter by smart, meaning cheap items, or toggle between, say, different forms of payment to get extra savings, or agreeing not to return an item to guarantee a discount. These gimmicks are helping Jet compete with more established marketplaces, which are big and huge and have everything and very convenient, but they don't always have the lowest prices. Jet.com CEO Mark Lohr previously started Diapers.com, ran the online grocery store Soap.com, pet store Wag.com. His parent company, Quidsy Inc., sold to Amazon for $545 million back in 2010. The guy knows how to sell stuff. Jet.com membership fees are $50 per year, kind of a Costco model, with real-time trading software instead of traditional e-commerce software. For example, as TechCrunch's Sarah Perez explains, a customer could have a baseball bat in their shopping cart, but still need a glove. Jet knows that certain gloves could be shipped with the bat from a warehouse closer to the customer's home and give those gloves the smart cart icons, pass the savings along to the customer. Jet currently fulfills around a third of orders itself, another third are handled by its partners, and then the rest are handled by a concierge service, which means that Jet buys the items on a retailer's website and then ships them to the customer. So far, about 2,200 retailers have signed up, big ones like Barnes & Noble, Lenovo, HarperCollins, and Bluefly, to name a few. But the company is spending a lot of money on infrastructure, a lot of money. And Laura admits that Jet's model works when it sells $20 billion in products per year, with 15 million paying customers, meaning $750 million in membership revenues, which it doesn't expect to do before 2020. Yesterday, my colleague Drew Olenoff said, "What's with all this white space on my web Twitter background?" And I said, "Ew, who looks at web Twitter?" A lot of people, apparently. People who hate change. So here's what happened. Twitter decided to remove wallpapers, customizable wallpapers, from users' home and notifications timelines. But very abruptly, so instead of the usual customized backgrounds that we're used to, like the Warhol-esque tiling of my own face that I chose 8 years ago, when viewing a profile, notifications, and main timeline, you instead now see just a lot of white space. Not surprisingly, a lot of people thought that that was horseshit and got very upset. A Twitter spokesperson tells Drew, "We're removing background images from the home and notifications timelines on web for all users. Now, background images are only available where logged-in users will see them publicly, like tweet pages, list pages, and collections pages." Now, why would they do this? It's likely an ad display move. Twitter might want to control something like a full homepage takeover background ad. Other sites do this, that you'd see all over Twitter for like a week instead of, my own stupid face. It also gives Twitter more design control, like using colors that don't clash, etc. You remember the MySpace days. Twitter probably doesn't want that. Back to earnings for a few. Microsoft's fiscal fourth quarter financial performance included revenue of $22.2 billion and adjusted earnings per share of 62 cents. Now, it was kind of a crazy quarter for the company because of its write-down of Nokia hardware assets. And using normal accounting methods, Microsoft had operating income of negative $2.1 billion in the quarter. The company closed the quarter with $96 billion in cash and equivalents, though, and announced, this is kind of a bright spot, that its Surface line brought in $888 million of revenue, up from the previous quarter of $713 million in sales, and up 117% compared to the year-ago period. The stock dropped about 3% in after-hours trading. On to Yahoo now, which reported its second quarter financial performance, including $1.04 billion in revenue after discounting for traffic costs, and earnings per share of 16 cents. Revenue was up 15% year over year, with mobile revenue representing 22% of overall revenue this quarter, which is up from 16% this time last year. And that is the report for today. I'm Sarah Lane. It's a big day. Crunch Report airs Monday through Friday at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific, right here on TechCrunch.com. Thanks for being here. See you tomorrow.